Hello,
Howdy.
everybody. I think Kimmy needs the M&Ms now because I don't think there's enough M&Ms in the world that is going to calm me down.
Here's the bag. Remember last week or the last video I did, I picked a bad week to quit to go on a diet.
Yeah, me too, I guess. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for emails, comments, and welcome all you new subscribers.
Yes.
You know, we just reached 1,400.
1,400.
So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for your
for all your
support.
love and support.
Yes, and also we interesting statistic was made apparent today. The past 30 days we had.
Yeah, YouTube has like you go to your YouTube channel homepage type deal where you can see how many views your videos have been done and see how you're doing and all that. You know, they tell you you can do this to improve your videos and all that. But they had a thing there that says that we have had 130 subscribers in the past 30 days. It's like, wow.
That's pretty. No wonder we got another copyright strike. Somebody don't like us.
We're just such goofballs. Anyway, thank you, everybody.
Oh, yes,
Without you, we wouldn't have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
We wouldn't keep doing this. And now to get in what we're doing. Okay, first of all, we want to thank My Plastic Microphone. I believe they're fairly new to YouTube. And for those of you who haven't checked out their channel, oh my God, he's got 3 short videos he's got excerpts from Samuel Hurd, the Governing Bodies Talks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the links to those videos down below this one. So if you haven't seen those yet, go check it out. They are being plastered everywhere. And we want to help get them spread, just spread everywhere. And what?
Nothing. I'm just catching.
I know. Kimmy's on a rant.
I know.
The biggest thing.
Do I dare interrupt now?
The biggest
I might get slapped harder than that.
I wouldn't slap you. The biggest thing is we want to talk to the Jehovah's Witness sisters. Now, I was a Jehovah's Witness sister for, 49 years. I know what it's like. I know how it feels. I know my sister, who is even worse than I am, of having attitude issues with brothers talking down to him and, treating sisters like subhumans, basically.
Yeah. And these talks from him, Samuel, I might as well just call him Hamuel Surd. No, I haven't been drinking. Samuel Hurd, this even bothers me. I've got to admit that. This even bothers me how the governing body thinks, places no value on the sisters at all.
And that's why we have to do this video and speak up. We know there's been several other who are doing, videos and everything else, but we feel like we have to speak up and give our 2 cents worth.
Yeah.
Because this is really disturbing. And sisters, I want to talk directly to you because I want to ask you, after you hear these clips, do you really want someone like this who professes to be of the anointed ruling over you for 1,000 years, knowing this is how they feel about you?
Here's the thing, sisters. You can't pass this off as to human imperfection. You have to realize that these governing body members are professing to be at the right hand of Christ right now.
Yeah.
Just go back and think to yourself, sit down and think, what of all the things that the governing body has said to make you think that they're at the right hand of Christ?
Oh, they say it all the time.
They say it all the time. We are the anointed. We're going to rule with Christ. You've heard the talks, we're waiting for our second appointment. So these men should be just right at the point of perfection right now, since you're that close to the Great Tribulation starting. These type of things should not be coming out of these men's mouth. But what we're going to do is, a while back, a viewer, a sister, asked us to
Joanne,
asked us to do a video on strong women.
And for some reason, we just never could get around to it. Well,
No,
guess what?
This presents a golden opportunity to do this, because we're hoping that enough Jehovah's Witness sisters will see this and will wake up to what's really going on and how they're viewed. And I hate to say it, sisters, but your husbands share this same view. Okay? I've been a brother. I've been with the elders. I've even heard the presiding overseer one day say that his wife doesn't know the difference between a hole in the ground and her asshole. Okay? When I heard that, I wrote to the society, and that brother was deleted from his position. But the point being is that your elder husbands have the same mentality as what this governing body does.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but when he was a MS and a regular pioneer, our marriage almost broke up. I was working 60 hours a week as an office manager trying to support the family.
Well, I was regular pioneer.
So him and Shyla could regular pioneer, and yet I was being bashed for not getting 10 hours a month, and it seems like your wife has lost her joy. Well, of course, because I've got idiot elders.
She was supporting 2 pioneers, and the brothers in the congregation could not handle that.
And unfortunately, I'm an MS. I'm a regular pioneer. This congregation stuff and my pioneering comes first. That's more important. Yeah. So I still had to do 99% of the housework and all of that. Yeah. Grocery shopping, laundry. So, I know how the brothers feel. Yeah. I have another story that perfectly shows how they have this attitude. We remodeled the Kingdom Hall back in '93, I think it was.
Yeah, whatever. In fact,
in Arizona.
we were remodeling the Kingdom Hall the day my dad died.
Yeah, so we were remodeling Kingdom Hall, and a group of us sisters, and there must have been about 10 of us. It was hot, and we were up on the roof, and there was about 5 or 6 layers of shingles and roofing paper, and it was about this thick, but it all had to be taken down.
5 or 6 is a hyperbole. There was actually 3 layers. Hey, we're going to tell the story straight, dear.
And a gazillion staples and nails that all had to be pulled out by hand. We had one brother up there who was kind of overseeing, because brothers got to oversee and supervise. But the thing is us sisters were working, and we were taking all these layers off and then pulling staples and nails by hand. So this young punk brother who wants to be an MS in his 20s, I believe, comes up there and he grabs a pitchfork and he just starts raking everything, and he's tearing up the plywood of the roofing.
Which is creating more work now.
Yeah, because it's tearing up this plywood, and as you know, you damage that and your roof is going to be going like this. Yes, I am a carpenter's daughter and have experience that. But this brother, he's going, and he's just like, he turns to the brother in charge and he says, if you got these sisters off the roof, us brothers could get this done in 20 minutes. I turned to the brother in charge.
Yeah, this was priceless.
And I said, so-and-so, I said, Bob, if you don't get him off this roof right now, I'm going to throw him off the roof. Yeah. Now, this is like a 6'2" brother, that was, the young punk.
And I can attest to that because I kept my mouth shut because I was on that roof helping these sisters.
And several of the other sisters says, and we'll help her.
Yeah.
That brother was sent down, and then everybody was complaining when they were putting the roof back on how it was all tore up. And, that brother Bob that was in charge, he says, if it hadn't been for you sisters, we would have never got that roof done in time.
Yeah.
So
when it comes to Watchtower, there again, it's part of the built-in mindset. We all know that the scriptures say that God created women as a complement for men. And when it comes to this organization, women are not a complement.
We like to think of it a partnership. Mike and I have a partnership.
I had to learn a lot. Trust me.
Yeah. And that's the way it should be. And hey, we've been married for almost 35 years now, so
Yeah.
I think we have a right to say
I
that
think we got a good thing
it's a
going here,
partnership.
sweetie.
Yeah. So I think we have the right to say something. And I just thought of another story that I should tell. We had a known pedophile
Oh, yeah.
and really creepy guy visiting our Kingdom Hall, and he'd come in his t-shirt, and he was just a real wackadoodle. And he was following the sisters around. He worked at the local grocery store as a bagger, and what he would do is if someone he knew, he would like follow them outside, and he would like wait until they were putting their cart away. Well, what he would do is pretend he was getting carts. Well, then he would like push against the sister and like pin her against the carts and get all touchy and feely, trying to touch her butt and breast and everything else. So this went on for several months. Well, at the Kingdom Hall, he was trying to get touchy and feely, and he would follow the young sisters. I mean, like pre-teens. Shyla was only, like 10, something like that. And he was following all the young sisters in the Kingdom Hall, and he would get up from his seat and follow them back to the bathroom. And he would stand by the bathroom door and keep trying to peek in and waiting for them to come out and then follow them and trying to talk to them. And then several times he would get like right in my face and get really close. And a lot of us sisters started complaining to the brothers. And they said, well, there's nothing we can do, and, you need 2 or 3 witnesses. Well, he's not going to have 2 or 3 sisters together to where there's witnesses or in front of the brothers. He's not going to do that. So it's like they're not doing anything. I know we're running out of time, so I got to hurry up. So finally.
Well, we're going to have to do this in 2 parts because we haven't even got to the meat of the material yet.
I know. Or, anyway. Well, this is a good story.
Oh, I know because I'm
telling the story.
Because I'm gonna actually add something into this that I think you've totally forgotten all about. But go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, one Thursday night, Mike is running the sound booth. So Shyla and I are sitting, and Shyla gets up to go bathroom, and I get up to go with her, and I come and I sit down, and he gets right here behind me, and I can feel his hot breath on my neck when I sit down, and he's like, "What's the matter? How come you're not talking to me?" I said, "Go away."
See, and this was actually after the meeting when this.
No, this was during
the meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I took and I pushed his face back. Well, after the meeting, he come up to me and he was like trying to hug me or something. And he's like, "What's the matter? Come on, talk to me." And he like touched my breast. I took and I pushed him as hard as I could. And he actually fell backwards over the folding chairs that was there by the sound booth. Of course, by then, I'm yelling and telling him to stay away from me, my daughter, and all the other women in the congregation, that he's a pervert and everything else. And by then, I'm yelling at the top of my lungs, and elders right by me, and I've got an elder trying to grab my arm and pull me in the back room.
And the elders are trying to tell me to calm my wife down, and I said no. I says this has been a long time coming, and I'm going to let her lash out because you, brother, should have stopped this months ago, and you did nothing.
So the brother that was grabbing my arm, I had enough of him, and I pushed him, and I felt really bad because he was a real old man, and he kind of fell against the chairs and almost fell over, but someone else caught him. But they kept trying to get me to go in the back room, and I didn't like anybody grabbing at me. I just have a thing about, I was abused as a child, so I don't like people grabbing me. I just lash out and I hit and everything else. So finally, Mike comes over and he says, "Okay, let's just calmly go in the back room and talk this over." So I'm yelling this whole time. When I got done yelling, every single sister in that congregation, okay, it was death silence.
Yeah,
well, you could have heard a pin drop.
When you get that kind of disturbance going on, everybody's focusing to what's going on.
So while I'm yelling, you can't hear any other sound. When I was done with my little tirade, every single sister in that congregation applauded. They started clapping.
Yeah.
So I go in the back room, and then they try to make it my fault. Like I'm in the wrong for causing a scene. And I told them, I said, if you would have done your job months ago, we wouldn't have had to have a scene like that.
Yeah.
And after that,
we're at 14:34, so we better pause and let the.
After that, elders, I walked by that guy and sat by him, one on each side. So let's go to part 2. So, of course, after that, I was known as a troublemaker and a big mouth and a sister who liked to make waves. But,
But the thing is Kim was a strong woman. And that's what we're getting at. In fact, part of
still
this,
am.
still, yeah. In fact, part of the story that you forgot about, the reason why we know that this man was trying to pin sisters up against the building or where he worked, because he'd done that with my mother. And my mother had to file a restraining order against this individual. You forgot about that, huh?
Kind of.
Yeah, that's
But
what I
several
thought.
of her friends. And he didn't
Yeah.
care about age or anything.
Nope.
Any woman, any sister, But it was funny because once the elders started sitting one on each side of him and following him back to the bathroom,
he never came back to the meetings.
He left and never
gone.
came back to the meetings.
Yeah.
Yep. So, anyway, on our subject of strong women, I just want to share something from the New Silver Gray Dull Bible here, Judges 4:4.
And this is a really good example of a strong woman, and how, in all honesty, in a religious sense, this is how men should be respecting women.
Yeah. So, Joanne, this video is for you. These scriptures are for you to share with your friends. Judges 4:4. Now Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, was judging Israel at that time. She used to sit under Deborah's palm tree between Ramah and Bethel. Did I say that right? Ramah and Bethel in the mountainous region of Ephraim. The Israelites would go up to her for judgment. Now, a woman as a judge.
But see, not only that, she's not single. She also has a head.
Yeah.
Because it names who her husbandly owner is. So even though she was a married woman, she was also a judge in the nation of Israel. That's a strong woman. See, that's how men in a religious setting should be viewing women, not like what this knucklehead Samuel Hurd spews out in these two talks.
Yeah. Okay, so I have another one. Romans 16, 1 through 2. I am introducing to you Phoebe, our sister, who is a minister of the congregation that is in Chentria. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Chentria, so that you may welcome her in the Lord in a way worthy of the holy ones, and give her whatever help she may need, for she herself also proved to be a defender of many, including me, a minister in the congregation. It doesn't say a sister, who isn't allowed to speak. It says a minister in the congregation.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is from your new Bible. You can't argue with this.
I know there's a whole subjection, headship thing, but sisters, you have to realize that if Watchtower, your husbands, are pulling this whole subjection nonsense, then that contradicts what the Apostle Paul says right here about Phoebe being a minister. Yeah. Think about it. Reason this out. Reason it out. Okay? Now, for Samuel Hurd. Hey, knucklehead. You know what the qualifications are for a minister of God.
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't.
Particularly a person in your position. 1 Timothy 3. Okay, this statement is faithful. Any man that is reaching out for an office of overseer, he is desirous of a fine work. The overseer should therefore be irreprehensible. This talk you gave, it's utter bullshit, dude. It's utter bullshit. Okay? I want to go down. I mean, really. It says a man presiding over his own household in a fine manner. If you're getting up in public and giving these types of talks, I wonder how your wife feels about you. I don't even know if this idiot's married or not, but I'm just assuming he is. But if you're not, and you're looking to get married, sisters, run and run fast. This is not a man you want as a husband. Listen to his talk. Listen how he degrades the sisters. Listen to his words. Okay? But see, verse 7, moreover, he should also have a fine testimony from people on the outside. I'm on the outside now. You are a freaking knucklehead to give this talk. Okay? You don't have a fine testimony. When you go to the plastic microphone, as of right now, in the making of our video, this guy's had over 3,000 views on your talk. This is an embarrassment to you.
It's getting plastered on Facebook, all of the forums, anywhere we can plaster this.
Yeah.
YouTube,
see?
Yeah.
The people on the outside no longer view you as having a fine testimony. You've destroyed that yourself.
Google Plus, Twitter.
Yeah. Then also in Titus, I wanted to look, let's see, I think I lost my place here.
Did you lose your place?
Yeah. Yeah, verse 8.
Good one.
Titus 2, verse 8. Okay, there again, it's still talking about some of the qualifications. Likewise, verse 6 says, likewise, keep on exhorting the younger men to be sound in mind, in all things showing yourself an example of fine works, showing uncorruptibleness in your teaching, seriousness. Verse 8, wholesome speech, which cannot be condemned. I am here with my wife to publicly condemn this talk. This is not wholesome speech. This is not upbuilding. This is degrading to women, to sisters.
Chauvinistic.
Very
misogynist.
Chauvinistic. Yes. But it goes on so that the man on the opposing side, aka me, I'm on the opposing side, okay, may get ashamed. See, I didn't get ashamed by listening to your bullshit talk. You should be ashamed.
All this does is just... I'm at a loss for words. All this does...
It just shows...
that we made the right decision for leaving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind about that. But Jehovah Witness sisters, listen. I've been your brother for 42 years, and I'm still willing to be your brother. There's a lot of things that this organization is doing to exploit you right now. They're running out of money. They're going downhill. They're doing everything that they can to keep this organization afloat. But when a governing body member like Samuel Hurd gives a talk like this and says the things that he says about the sisters, my God, start waking up. Start holding your elder husbands accountable for this nonsense. The power is in your hand to close the doors to Watchtower. You just have to know how to do it. Okay? Kim and I would still very much love to be called your brothers and sisters. Even everybody in the XJW community, we're all here to help you realize that what you're involved in is not healthy. It's not building up. All it does is it just entraps you and it enslaves you. And when a man like Samuel Hurd can give up and give a talk degrading women, it's even more debased for you sisters. I know. I've been ministerial servant. I've worked with the elders. I've heard their little snide remarks about their wives and all this stuff. I've heard it. That's why one of the reasons why I started working against the elders when I was a ministerial servant, because it made me sick to hear these things. That this organization views women the way they do.
Yes. And we know that, it's not even known. A lot of this is done in secret. You're verbally abused. You're physically abused. Mentally abused. and it's just so sad. Your children are being abused and you don't have a voice. And the thing is about this organization is, and especially this Samuel Hurt, I mean, if anybody, a black man would understand how it feels to be degraded and feel like a
Good point.
subhuman, and then to turn around and do this to women.
Just think, you want this man ruling over you for 1,000 years?
If this is the type of, anointed one that's going to be in heaven ruling over mankind, if I did still believe in humans going to heaven, I wouldn't want to be there.
No.
You think I want this type of person, or Anthony Moore's the turd, ruling
Yeah.
over me for 1,000 years? I don't want to be there.
There's another knucklehead there.
Yeah. If they're going to be in charge, like witnesses believe, I don't want to be there.
Sisters, here's the thing. If you're afraid to make comments down below and you want to continue this discussion further, it's very simple. We'll keep your name, identity, secret, and safe. You have my promise. All you have to do is click on the above tabs that says About. You click on that, and then you can privately PM Kim and I, and we will be glad to assist you any way we can, because this type of tyranny over any human being has to be stopped. This is not what Christ meant. Christ honored women.
I can't imagine him saying these things to Mary Magdalene.
Or even his own mother Mary. I mean, come on, sisters. We're asking you to help us put an end to this nonsense.
Yep. So since we're running out of time again, we're just going to do some short clips. So please go to My Plastic Microphone, and I'll put the link below to his channel or her channel. I'm not sure if it's a man or woman. And watch these videos. Watch these videos. They're very disturbing. And this is why they're getting plastered all over.
Yep.
So thank you,
speak
everybody.
up and be one single voice against his governing body.
Yeah.
They're not here to help you gain eternal life. They're here to destroy your life.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody, for putting up with our rant. And say goodnight, Mikey.
Good night, Kimmy.
Woman is a kind of man. There's 3 reasons why you're here. You know what they are? That is women. Number 1 is to serve God. And of course, that's why we're here too, to serve God. That's foremost. But now the second reason why you are here, women, is to feel the need of me. And the third reason why you're here is to give the man of your choosing. These are the 3 reasons why you live and why you exist. And women are well equipped for this role. Your desire from childhood is usually to marry and please your husband. Think back to the time when you were just a little girl. What did you enjoy playing with the most? What did you want to play the most? I can still remember my sister saying, let's play house. Always. It could be raining, it could be doing anything. Let's play house. Now, we may have wanted to go play cowboys and Indians, but the girls invariably want to play house. Scientists say that the cranial capacity of a woman is 10% smaller than that of a man. So now this shows that she's just not equipped for the role of headship. Her role is one of subjection to the man. Her role is that of submissiveness, and that means that she should recognize that she is a woman and be glad to be a woman. Never want to be what you are not equipped to be. But we'll hear a sister say, oh, if I were an elder, I'd show them a thing or two. Or sometimes we hear them say, oh, if I were a man, I'd do this and I'd do that. As if to be wishing to be something that he's not designed to be. Do you know what that borders on? That borders on homosexuality.